Hello, everybody. November 14th, 2024. Um, Wanted to record just me reading 1984 by George Orwell. Um, Wanted to, I don't know, just talk about it. Or just kind of like, I just wanted, I'm not really good with not good yet, but with like recording, setting up like uh, OBS. Um, I don't know, just me kind of just scrolling through using ChatGPT to kind of just help me. Um, I don't know, just just talk about it, or just kind of because I just wanted to kind of
Bill Maher.
so yeah, and I don't really know, um, kind of how to set all this up, but whatever. So I'm on page 27, George Orwell, 1984. So, um, first time reading it, first time, really kind of just putting my thinking into it, and like, um, how does this affect me, or how does this book relate? Is it like, how can I relate? What is the author trying to tell me? Um, why is it important? Um, and plus, I don't know how, if I'm gonna be following. I don't have a schedule. All this is so like all over the place. How I'm gonna be. I upload stuff and it's just so random. Doesn't like there's nothing that nobody can really follow. It's kind of like, I don't know. But for me to just keep doing it, me just trying to I don't know, still kind of do it just to come, because why not? And I like doing it. Um and Yeah, it gets me thinking too. It gets me thinking. It gets me like figuring things out. Also, it gets me like engaged in what's happening and stuff like that. Um, but but yeah. So from what I've know, like, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm not really like, some people can read and really like absorb, really can like understand what the author's trying to, like, the main point, the bigger picture, like all that stuff. What's the message? Some people are really like quick on getting that. I'm not saying like I'm gonna be whatever, but um, so I guess it's a book about a dystopian future, like not future, but is this like dystopian of like, this is main character Winston in this uh world where um the government is just watching over every single surveilling every single person. um what is it like, what's it called, there's a word for it. um but just consistently just watching everybody's moves. There's even like uh police, there's also, what's it, I don't know if it's police departments, but there's departments that are like dot police. There's actual people that like you can get in trouble for thinking a way that like doesn't subscribe to like what the government or like whatever the system is. So if I was like saying like, fuck Donald Trump, fuck the United States, fuck like how this is working out, like I don't like how things are set up, I would probably get shot. this was like the book 1984. Um, and we're following this guy that's just in his 50s, and it starts off like that. You just follow him. He's just a regular guy that kind of is just so used to how the things are going. It's kind of like this guy that's just been like, um, it's not like he's just he's not like he's not part of resistance. He's not like, um, saying that like just some dude that's like eventually he does, I think on page 27 he starts to kind of like, I don't know, it's something kind of just breaks in him that kind of starts, he starts doing, which in the book it is illegal activities of just like being able to get a journal and start journaling like his what's happening, what he saw, like what he's seeing, and just being like, I don't know if it doesn't specifically say that he's in disgust, but when you read it, um, it's something that's like, that we would think is crazy. Um, there's an example of like him saying that he saw a refugee boat of kids. The author describes the kid and his mother, the mother holding on to the baby boy. This is, I guess, this refugee boat, and a helicopter comes by and just blows them up. And the author makes it very graphic and says the arm just flies up in the air. That's crazy. And this is the world. This is this dystopian world that he's living in this like very uh is it totalitarian, is that what that's called? Basically like North Korea, basically um like World War II Germany shit. um I don't know, something like that. I personally, me, as me trying to put myself in that, like, in those shoes, in that kind of like, first of all, I mean, lucky as hell that like I wasn't born in a time where like, you know, I that stuff is happening, or like my government isn't trying to like, I can just say whatever I want to say in this mic, and I don't have fear of getting shot. Maybe by some dumbass, but not from like, there isn't like a set rule or a law, um, you know, by like a law that says like you cannot talk badly about like the system or whatever the heck, man. Um, so this is Winston, main character. Um, just um, I don't know. He's just trying to like, well, I mean, the there's a part where he describes how like he's in his room, and just imagine, man, just imagine if you're in your room, you go to your house after a long day of work. You go up the stairs or whatever apartment you live in, you walk, or a house, you walk in, and there's a camera in the living room. And it's a camera that the government installed to watch you. And they said that they're going to play, they installed the screen or whatever. Hopefully I'm describing the book right. I'm really sorry um if there's people that really read the book and really know it, like, um I'm a fan. It's a good book, and but Um, imagine if like there's like like just somebody on the screen, just there's a repeated record of like what did it exactly say in the book? I forgot, but I guess it's something like you gotta follow this. It's like if like there was like a screen, a TV in our living room, and it was saying like um Donald Trump, listen, like follow Donald Trump. Donald Trump is blah 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 or whatever. We'll be like, what the fuck is this? This I don't want this shit in here. What like no? What if I don't like you? You know, like we don't have to like our president. I don't have to like the man. I fucking can say whatever the fuck. You know, that's the beautiful thing. I'm not gonna like. I just imagine if like that shit was just playing in the freaking living room, and it'll be like, I want to, dude. I just want to watch freaking like Netflix. I just want to like, I want to play. I don't want to listen to this, but that's like in the. This is um what we're like following. This is what we're um you know, we're walking in like Winston's shoes, or we're this is the story if, and it's not something that's like, it doesn't feel like it's something that isn't like, what's the word, is it far-fetched, isn't something that could never happen, you know. This is something that like, nah, this will never happen. Like this is just out of the ordinary, crazy. Like this isn't like a alien book. You know, we're not reading an alien book. Would be like if this was like, if this was like if this book involved aliens and out of like something crazy like that, I'll be like, that'd be crazy if that did happen. But with this book, it has happened. It is happening. I would think. I mean, from I can 80%, 90% say that there's fucking something going on in North Korea right now. Like in this moment of time, November 14th, 5:18 p.m. on a Thursday, 2024. There's some fucking crazy shit happening over there. There might be some crazy shit happening here. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But most likely there's something happening over there that's like, that is fucking scary. Is fucking scary, and it should be scary to like everybody. Um and especially cuz like we got, it's even scarier nowadays because we have like nuclear weapons. Like just that's just like the wildest thing, is these weapons that just can obliterate like everything we know, everything, which is fucking crazy. Um, excuse my language. I think it's just like, it's crazy. Um, so that's the book. The book is following this. Like, I don't know what else happens. I mean, it's it's definitely something to really think about. Really something to kind of like, me as a person, me living here. What can I like? It's not like what can I do? Oh, I should do something, but me just kind of, obviously, like I wouldn't want any of that shit to happen. I don't want people like, I would. It'd be crazy if we knew that like our government was killing innocent people. That'd be fucking wild. We would be fucking. We would hear about it everywhere. If it nowadays, we would hear it everywhere. And cool thing is that like this time is such a like awesome time because we have podcasts. We have podcasts. We have like people would be talking about it. People would be saying something about it. Me personally, I haven't heard anything like, or seen anything. I mean, I probably could find something, you know, at best like the only stuff I hear is like cops killing, like, people or whatever. But then you can just say like, but not anyone can be a cop, but like, is cops? See, I'm stepping into like crazy territory. But like people, there's always gonna be good people and there's always gonna be bad people. And imagine if like the president was saying, "Hey, our soldiers are gonna go into every single home. You like either you're with us or you're gonna get shot." Like that's a different type of beast. That's a different type of thing. But yeah, I'm just kind of like thinking out loud. I mean, I don't have like none of the answers. This thing is way too big, man. This thing is way too complicated, way too big. I would be dumb to say that I know it or like I know the answers. I have the answers. Like it's just crazy. Anyone has a way better opinion than me or better like more somebody else that knows or is in the inside and has way more information than I do. And um it's yeah. And so it is something that like it is a little relatable how this book is. This book um how it can just I can I can easily kind of like point it to like okay, yeah, this kind of like uh connects to what's happening in a way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of just, you know. Anyways, so that's right now. Um, page 27. Um, let's go. So, bad news coming. Thought Winston. And sure enough, following a gory description of the annihilation of a Eurasian army with stupendous figures of killed prisoners, came the announcement that as from next week, the chocolate ration would be reduced from 30 grams to 20. Winston belched. The gin was wearing off, leaving a deflated feeling. The telescreen, perhaps to celebrate the victory, perhaps to drown the memory of the lost chocolate, crashed into Oceania. "'Tis for thee." You were supposed to stand to attention. However, in his present position, he was invisible. Oceania, "'tis for thee," gave way to lighter music. Winston walked over the window, keeping his back to the telescreen. The day was still cold and clear. Somewhere far away, a rocket bomb exploded with a dull, reverberating roar. Somewhere far away, rocket bomb. Dang, man. Just imagine if you were just like chilling, you just hear bombs like outside. Like, I bet you that's how the people right now feel around like Ukraine, the people like fucking Middle East. I don't fucking know. Those places, all those areas, man. I'm sure there's some. It's crazy. Um, about 20 or 30 of them a week were falling on London at present. Down in the street, the wind flapped the torn poster to and fro, and the word INGSOC fitfully appeared and vanished. INGSOC, the sacred principle of. Am I supposed to, like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to. INGSOC, whatever. Newspeak, double think, the mutability of the past. He felt as though he were wandering in the forest of the sea bottom, lost in a monstrous world where he himself was the monster. He was alone. Damn. The past was dead. The future was unimaginable. Dang, man. What certainty had he that a single human creature now living was on his side? And what way of knowing that the dominion of the party would not endure forever? Question mark. Like an answer, the three slogans of the white face of the Ministry of Truth came back at him. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Man, imagine if, like, he took a 25-cent piece out of his pocket. There, too, in tiny clear lettering, the same slogans were inscribed. And on the other face of the coin, the head of Big Brother. Even from the coin, the eyes pursued you. On coins. Maybe this is Winston just kind of just describing this. Him feeling like just being watched. Just imagine like you just being watched all the time. You had no privacy. You had like, you don't have privacy. You don't have an identity. You're kind of just like, you're told what to be. You're told what to think. You're told like how to like act and shit. I don't think that's ever worked out. I don't think that's ever worked out for like years of like us being here on this planet, like just as humans, as society, as people. Like I don't think that's ever worked out with like somebody, like if like the government or like my teachers or whoever was telling me how to like, who telling me who I was or telling me who to be or telling me like how to act and stuff like that, and I felt like that wasn't like that wasn't me, I'd be like, no, like that's just, that doesn't, I don't want to like. And that's crazy how like always eyes watching you and the voice enveloping you, asleep or awake, working or eating, indoors or outdoors, in the bath or in bed, no escape. Nothing was your own except a few cubic centimeters inside your skull. Dang. And the author, what is the author trying to, I mean, the author's just kind of really like the fear of like, not, I don't know if it's like me like, or like the author saying like kind of just put in this fear, or trying to put this fear in me, like saying that, or not fear, but like kind of just telling me to just like watch out for this, or like just, I think we need to keep these guys like in check, our government or whatever, or like our like, that's not even their like, it can even go as small as our mayor. Like my man, one time when I was about to go vote, my mayor came up to me. He was outside of the voting booth the, of the school I was gonna go vote, and he told me like, if you vote for me, I had like I was talking to her, and I was just kind of like, cause they give out flyers, and I didn't know, I was just like, oh shit, it's the freaking mayor of like my city, and she was like saying like, if you vote for me, you are signing a contract with me, saying that like I will work for you, something like that. Her saying that like she is like working for me. She is like, I am signing like I am hiring her to like help me like or help or the community better, something like that. But it's more of like, I like that kind of like look, or I kind of like how that kind of like, I don't know, it feels like it's like, it doesn't feel like we're like she's above me or anything like that. She's like a service to the people kind of thing, which is good. But the sun shifted around in the myriad myriad windows of the Ministry of Truth, with the light no longer shining on them, looked grim as the loopholes of a fortress. His heart quailed before the enormous pyramidal shape. It was too strong. It could not be stormed. 1,000 rocket bombs would not batter it down. He wondered again for whom he was writing the diary. For the future, for the past, for an age that might be imaginary. And in front of him there lay not death but annihilation. The diary would be reduced to ashes and himself to vapor. Only the thought police would read what he had written before they wiped it out of existence and out of memory. Dang, man. That's why I always be like trying to like, I don't know. In some of my audios, I just be saying like, people need to just, or I don't know, not just me. That'd be cool if I heard somebody else was recording too, and kind of just this diary, this like saying that like you were here, this was how it was, or this is like something like that. Not that something kind of just saying that like, I don't know. It's something like that. It's something that, because this is like what we're going through is history. Like 400 years ago, the people that were alive were probably, they were just in that time. They were just in that like moment. They weren't thinking about like 400 years from now there's gonna be iPhones, people are gonna be flying over us and like traveling and stuff. And now like all this, like I think, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like cool that like nowadays we can do this. How could you make appeal to the future when not a trace of you, not even an anonymous word scribbled on a piece of paper, could physically survive? The telescreen struck 14. He must leave in 10 minutes. He had to be back to work by 14:30. Curiously, the chiming of the hours seemed to have put new heart into him. He was a lonely ghost, uttering a truth that nobody would ever hear. But so long as he uttered it, in some obscure way, the continuity was not broken. It was not by making yourself heard, but by staying sane that you carried on the human heritage. He went back to the table, dipped his pen, and wrote. It was not by making yourself heard, but by staying sane that you carried on the human heritage. Dang. Winston felt like a person. He felt free when he was writing. That's crazy. Yeah, and it kind of does feel like that. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of does feel like when I do record, or when I do like when I do record, so I do write. It does feel freeing. It feels like I have a voice. It feels like I'm expressing something. Kind of just kind of. Obviously, I don't want to be. At the same time, I don't want to be rude, disrespectful. But then again, it's like I feel like if I know I'm not being rude and disrespectful, I'm not gonna be like say sorry and be like. But yeah, there's something about just kind of writing and putting your thoughts or your feelings in a certain place. That can just, it doesn't have to be writing or recording. Some people do it like with sports or like their jobs or whatever. But something that kind of gives them like a be themselves. To the future or to the past? to a time when thought is free, when men are different from one another and do not live alone, to a time when truth exists and what is done cannot be undone. From the age of uniformity, from the age of solitude, from the age of Big Brother, from the age of doublethink. Greetings. He was already dead, he reflected. It seemed to him that it was only now, when he had begun to be able to formulate his thoughts, that he had taken the decisive step. The consequences of every act are included in the act itself, he wrote. Thought crime does not entail death. Thought crime is death. Now that he had recognized himself as a dead man, it became important to stay alive as long as possible. Dang. 2 fingers of his right hand were ink stained. It was exactly the kind of detail that might betray you. Dang, man, you gotta be like careful with everything. Some nosing zealot in the ministry, a woman probably, someone like the little sandy-haired woman or the dark-haired girl from the fiction department, might start wondering why he had been writing during the lunch interval, why he had used an old-fashioned pen when what he had been writing, and then drop a hint in the appropriate quarter. A woman probably. Why would it be just a girl with, I don't know. Couldn't it just be a guy too? He went to the bathroom and carefully scrubbed the ink away in the gritty dark brown soap which rasped your skin like a sandpaper and was therefore well adapted for this purpose. He put the diary away in the drawer. It was quite useless to think of hiding it, but he could at least make sure whether or not its existence had been discovered. A hair laid across the page ends was too obvious. With the tip of his fingers, he picked up an identifiable grain of whitish dust and deposited it on the corner of the cover, where it was bound to be shaken off if the book was moved. Man, you gotta be like... That was the end of the chapter, but you gotta be like, man, sneaky as hell. For like... It's like you're... No. Like... Because you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get like... You don't want to get... You don't want to die. Dang. That was chapter 3. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sure there's people out there, dude. I'm sure, like, just the human spirit that, like, there's probably people in these places that, like, that all this crazy stuff is happening. That someone is seeing, like, nah, this isn't right. I want to do something. Or, like, there's always going to be bad people, too, man. There's always going to be people that, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's, like, a blinding thing or, like... Because I think the brain is such a powerful thing. I think like whatever, it's not whatever you're thinking, but whatever like thoughts can really steer you. It's more thoughts that can steer you. I don't know, feelings, thoughts, emotions, like can really I don't know. I know when I feel an emotion, it's not like it's like the overall picture. Like sometimes I get nervous when I'm talking to people, or like I get scared when I'm like about to present or something. But I know that doesn't mean that like each person is like a scary person, or these people like hate me. It's like my thoughts are like, I can be realistic. Like, these guys are just here to listen to me. These guys are, just they're gonna, some of these people don't really care, or maybe some people really want to hear me talk, things like that. And I mean, the feelings can still be there, but it's the thoughts that really kind of just still steer you into that way. And I think it's when you start getting really scared is when things start kind of like it's hard to think, it's hard to kind of like move, it's hard to kind of like talk and stuff like that. I struggle with this so much. um but every day's better, every day gets better. I think it's just always just kind of like picking it up, it's just um you just get smarter over time. You gotta, I guess it's just, well, at least for me, it's just, I try to notice patterns. I try to notice my patterns. I try to like, but I'm still human. Like I'm not gonna be able to see like, or have it perfect. Um, so yeah, I mean, being able to kind of, I think articulating, I think there's something about articulating, people being able to articulate things, um, is a great, uh, tool. I don't know. Makes great teachers, I think. If you maybe it just helps you understand. Um, but yeah, um, great book. Um, good book. Oh man, I'm not done yet, but like I have so much. I have a lot more pages to go. But 1984, George Orwell. Um, yeah.